I'm Phil Sheets. I'm a technical animator at Raven Software. I've been there for 2 years. I've been wearing the Call of Duty business unit, so I worked on touched Black Ops and W3 recently.
Okay. How did you find your way to being a technical artist? What was your your background in academics or other experience?
I had kind of a strange route. I actually went to school for telecommunications, kind of film studies, comparative literature, a lot of writing, and then I got a job programming. So I was a programmer for about 10 years, which developed into processes and documentation and things like that. Then I went back to school for animation, and then got into Raven through motion capture and animation as well, where my mix of programming and my animation knowledge is what got me in the door there.
Okay. Sort of your background, do you like computer science, math, comparative literature? What do you find yourself drawing on as a technical artist?
Lately, it's a lot of process and pipeline, trying to kind of own the pipeline a little bit and to be that, we see a lot of the force multipliers, so trying to find those areas where sheer manpower hits a ceiling and that we can kind of improve on a little bit, either through tools or through documentation or developing a new way of doing things or thinking. So it's not all just technical, it's kind of that, what's the best way to improve this process so we can get the most out of it.
That's actually really cool. Do you have a particular example where you were acting as a force multiplier that you're able to share?
There's probably more of the tool stuff. I mean, I work closely with the Mocap and animation, so whenever we can, we're revisiting how we do things and making improvements wherever we can. And a lot of times where I jump in is for scripting needs or developing tools things. So anytime there's a spot where we're doing things manually, but a tool can be created, that's kind of where I jump in as the front-end development tool. And then beyond that, the process stuff, it's a lot of the documentation, I guess. More of the kind of doing your thinking on paper before you get to implementing it, which I personally feel is very important, because then that's the implementation's the easy part after you've figured out the best way to go about doing something.
Is it true that mocap data is a lot noisier than those of us that don't do it would think?
I don't know. At Raven, we have the top-notch mocap team, so I've heard that mocap can be noisy, and but no, I don't think so.
Okay, so it's that whole garbage in, garbage out. If you have good
yes,
quality
exactly.
on the capture, good
Yep.
to know. What's the most important thing that educators need to know about trying to help develop tech artists?
Well, personally, for entry-level tech art, my personal opinion is that you focus on the thing you're going to be doing 80% of your time. I like to see that if you're wanting to do rigging, that a reel or something is going to show a lot of rigging. But then also an aptitude for learning, just an enjoyment of learning new things, of starting at zero and how do I get up to a proficiency in something. So that spark of, I really like scripting, or I really like this aspect of something. So those areas, I think, really show through.
Okay. Is there anything you would specifically like to tell us? Anything else? What a student portfolio should look like, or something that an educator should not be doing? Or
I think that even though tech artists are the kind of the middle ground between artists and programming, like everyone says, that there is something to be said for not being too much of a generalist. I like to see that, like I said, that thing that you're going to be doing, if you want to be rigging, that your reel shows that you understand rigging solidly, but then have a sprinkling of those other things, of whether that's UI or tools building, the understanding those other, or shaders, or whatever mix that is. But that initially, that I'm seeing that you're able to do that one task or that entry level thing very well to get your foot in the door. Because I will help you grow and give you the room to grow if I see that spark is there and that passion is there to learn. But a lot of that's hard to show in a demo reel. So initially, it's that, what are you going to be doing for half or 80% of your time, that you can do that well to begin with.
okay, thank you very much.